So I'm Stephanie, and this is a new video for Sugar Pea Design for the Coffee Lovers Blog Up edition. So I'm just going to walk you through a bit of what I'm doing right now for my card. As you can see on my blog, it's a pretty extensive and patterned card, but it looks very simple to do. So what you have to do is you take out a piece of brown cardstock and cut it to I did mine at 4 inches wide by 5.5 long, and then fold it together, and then I cut some piece of craft cardstock and white cardstock that are going to be directly on my card base, and taking out some pattern papers that I had in mind to use. They are all gray, neutral, brownish tones, but we will be slightly customizing them. So no matter what you have on your desk, just take it out. Cut it to the appropriate measurements that you want to do on your card base, and then just stack it on top. And now the fun part. So I've taken out some Sugar Pea Designs products to play with. What you can see on my desk is the mini Misty tool that I'm going to be using on my pattern paper with the water brush strokes that I want to just to sorry for the babbling. So I just want to dirty my paper with some of the brush strokes. So I'm going to slightly place it, and then with some ink, this one is some black archival ink, I'm just going to stamp over that water brush stroke stamp. And as you can see, the Mini Misty stamps it really well, and I love how it looks. Like, it's not taking the whole focal point, sorry, but it's just slightly customizing the paper. So I'm stamping it again in the bottom of the paper, and then I'm going to take another of those strokes and ink it with some cocoa mini ink cube from Hero Arts, which I really like. So right in the middle. And if you're doing the same exact steps that I'm doing, please don't worry about your about creating your background slightly crooked or whatever, because in the end, with the final look of the card, you won't really see this much of the pattern paper. And as you may notice, I will change my mind a couple of times while doing the card making process. I think it's what makes it fun. And so I'm playing around with my stuff, and you will see what comes out at the end. So now I'm just taking that amazingly cute gift tag label and stamping it on some white cardstock with, again, some black ink. And I will take out a sentiment, or no, wait, let's take out the die cut, the coordinating die cut from the label that I'm going to pass through my die cutting machine. And as you can see, there is only a tiny white border all around the stamping that we just did, and it's just perfect. And now I decided to try to make my own coffee stain look, that I would take out one of the circles from the gift tag label set and stamp it with our brown ink right in the middle of our label. And now, choosing some sentiments that I want to play with, I'm taking out the thanks portion. And what is fun with this set is that you can clearly mix it up with other sentiments. And I thought it would be cool to maybe jazz it with some die cuts. So I stamped the thank pieces. And now I'm taking out the latte die cut words from the Chatterbox Journal Coffee Words, and the sentiment is from the Espresso Yourself stamp set. And I'm die cutting it through some brown cardstock, and then placing it right in the bottom of my label. And now I'm taking out this amazing coffee to go cup die cut set that, guys, I'm telling you, if you don't have it, please hurry up in the Sugar Pea Design store and order it right away, because I'm pretty sure that just like during every coffee lovers edition, it's going to be sold out. So now I'm taking out the all the different parts of the coffee cup, and I'm just die cutting it off screen, obviously, with my Cuttlebug machine. And I'm cutting the different pieces either from cardstock or from pattern paper. It doesn't matter what you do. You could just go with some cardstock and then with a pen or a pencil slightly do some dots for an embossed look. Like, the possibilities are endless with this set. And I like the size of it. Like, it's not too small but not too big, so it's going to be great to for matching with our main sentiment pieces. So now I took out like the border, and I'm playing with adding maybe another part. As I told you before, like, I'm definitely not sure of what I'm doing right now, so I've changed my mind a lot of time. And so I'm just cutting around, trying to play with it, maybe inking the edges a little bit, and it's just so cool. And one of the things that I like to do with die cuts, no matter what, I always die cut twice the same piece so that I can slightly place them on top of each other and have like a little shadow created with the other piece of paper. So it's something that you may want to do or not. Creativity is such an endless possibility process that you do as you like. So now I'm just sticking my border piece of the cup on top of it with some glue pen. So assembling the whole thing, and I may have mentioned it before, but I hate getting sticky with old glue spots. So using the glue pen is definitely not a favorite, but it'll do for now. And I'm slightly rounding the cover of the cup and then adding it to the cup itself with some foam tape, some foam pad, I'm sorry, so that it's giving more dimension, like more texture to it. So now I'm playing around with that label, with the die cut word, with the coffee cup, and I'm thinking, oh, like something's not right. And I'm taking out some other dies. Like this one is from the Chatterbox journal card set. So I'm die cutting our background. As I told you before, that uh, customized background was going to be changed because it was just too crowded visually. So I'm playing with either some pattern paper or die cuts to see how I could um, finish my my card. So now I'm cutting a piece of pattern paper again, and I'm playing with it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, this could be fun, but something's missing. And then here's the thing. I came up with that amazing die that I just love from Sugar Pea Design. Um, oh yes, I'm also doing the double die cuts, like I mentioned before. And now I'm thinking, there's just too much pattern. So how can we downtone it a bit? So I'm taking out gift tag die to die cut some white, just plain white cardstock that is going to be sandwiched between that Chatterbox journal die cut and the coffee cup, just so that it's going to make it pop, and it's going to be less crowded visually. And another tip, uh, when you want to reuse some cardstock, just take one of the previous layer that won't be damaged by it and die cut through it. So now I'm just adding some other foam tabs gluing the Chatterbox Journal die cut together with my Scotch 3M gun, and then adding some more foam adhesive, some more tape, and now I'm taking the big guns and taking out some foam tape, also from Scotch, to give it a bit more dimension, because this is what's cool with these. Not, I wouldn't call them clean and simple, but definitely sentiment only cards, is that the more dimensions you give them, the more dimension you the better the effect will be. So now I'm just finishing the inside of my card, because this is something that I always like to do. So with a repeat of the same cardstock that I used. So sticking it inside, and just for a small finishing touch, you could stamp any sentiment that you want. I'm taking out the coffee sentiment again from Sugar Pea Design, and just putting it on the stamping block. So not caring whether it's aligned or not. I know, I'm sorry. I'm not a perfectionist, so I really don't mind. And just stamping it with some black ink in the right corner, so that it finishes the inside of the card. Now adding some foam pads for the tag layer. Removing the extra paper. Placing our coffee cup sentiment and label. And I think we're almost close to the end, guys. So I'm just putting some glue dots with my glue pen behind the die cut sentiment, but you could also go ahead and just spray some adhesive, so to make sure that it sticks. And I'm really happy with the way it looks right now, because it's like that gift tag makes everything different. So, and but I said, something's missing. So I'm taking out our coffee sentiment again, and just took out some gorgeous little coffee beans stamp, and I'm slightly pressing it again with my stamping block, it right in the middle. So thanks a latte, and adding a little piece of metal clip. Here you have your finished coffee card.